Hi, this is Mrs. Knopf, and today we're going to continue in our new method book on the clarinet with line 15, Au clair de la lune. And as always, we start at the beginning. So we look and see that we have our treble clef, as we always have for the clarinet. We have a 4/4 time signature, so we have 4 beats in every measure, and the whole note gets 4 beats. And we do have a whole note in the very last measure. So we also have half notes and quarter notes. Our half notes are not colored in, but they have stems, and our quarter notes are colored in with stems. So let's figure out the values for those. If our whole notes get 4 beats, half of a whole is half of 4 is 2. So whenever we have half notes, they get 2 full counts. And then half of a half is a quarter, half of 2 is 1. Our quarter notes get 1 beat each. So we start out with a little more movement than what we're used to. We have C's, thumb, 1, 2, 3, and we have 3 of them as quarter notes. And then the 4th quarter note, we lift our finger to play the D, and then we go right to the half note E. So we have to lift another finger. We hold that for 2 counts, add the middle finger again for the D, and then we're back down to a quarter note C, skip up to the E on the first line, and then put your finger back down for 2 Ds, and then 1 more finger for a half note C. Now, in this measure, we have a half note C with a half rest. I hope you noticed that the second line is almost identical to the first line. We have the 5th measure, which is just like the first measure, same notes and rhythms. Measure 6 is just like measure 2. Measure 7 is identical to measure 3, and the only difference between measure 8 and measure 4 is the last measure is a whole note that gets 4 full counts, whereas measure 4 is a half note, half rest, but the pitch is still the same. So hopefully that'll be an easy pattern for you. Also, we have a little more movement and some skipping from note to note. So instead of going C, D, E, we're skipping the D and coming back to it on our way down. So if you need to isolate that 3rd measure, C, E, do 1 or 2 notes at a time and then add the next note. And hopefully that will be helpful. But we're going to play through line 15. I want you to try to play along with me. Here we go. And 1, 2, ready. And that's how you play line 15. Don't forget, it's really important, especially when you have repeated notes, like in the first measure, that you are tonguing each note very clearly and starting each one with a t sound. Let your tongue interrupt your air and let the air sustain your sound for the full value of whatever note. So I hope this is helpful, and we'll see you next time.